All right, so now we're on to angle addition postulate. The angle addition postulate is exactly as it sounds. You are adding two angles together. That's the basics of it. Now in your text lesson that they showed you, they gave you a picture of it. They're saying we're adding two angles to get one bigger angle. So they have color coded these angles. They said that angle PQS. Okay, so this angle PQS, there's one angle, and notice he has another one right next to him. Its name is SQR. Okay, so this is our first angle and this is our second angle. Notice when we put them together, we get a larger angle. We get the angle PQR out here. So that's where this equation comes in. We took the first angle, angle PQS. It was right next to SQR. They were neighbors. And when we put their two openings together, we get this angle PQR. Okay, that's the angle addition postulate. It just means you're adding two angles that are next to each other. You're adding them together to get the larger angle that they combine to make. So it's like if you and your neighbor took the fence out between your yards and had one big yard. It would be the size of your yard plus your neighbor's yard. Okay, so that's what we're working with our angles here. We're just kind of taking out that ray in between the two and making a larger opening. So let's take a look at an example question. Notice we do have two angles here that are right next to one another. It says angle XWY is 42. So let's take, where is XWY? It's saying the opening that is created by going from X down to W and out to Y is 42 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and label that. That opening is 42 degrees. And angle XWZ is 96. So where is XWZ? Well, here's X. If we go down to W and out to Z, notice it's not this opening here, it's this whole angle. Okay, it's the whole thing, it's your 2 yards put together. That is 96 degrees. They want to know what is the measure of, where is it? YWZ. So they want to know the measure of this opening here. Well, wouldn't it be the big angle? If we take out that little angle, that will tell us what's left. So we end up doing 96 minus the 42 degree angle, tells us what's left there in the middle. I'll show you how you can also use algebra to do this one and the angle addition postulate. And it says it's a 54 degree angle. It doesn't look that way in the picture, but one thing you learn in geometry is they want you to go by properties and what you're told and not all the time by what you see. Here's how we could do that using the angle addition postulate more clearly and more written out. The angle addition postulate says that when I add these two angles together, angle XWY, okay, so I know that angle XWY plus the measure of angle YWZ, that was our second one. When those two were put together, they created angle XWZ. Then you can fill in the information you have. I knew that XWY was a 42 degree angle. I didn't know what angle YWZ was. That's what I'm going to be solving for. And together, I knew that they made that 96 degree angle. You would just solve this algebraic problem. So here's our variable here. We have 42 added to it. So to solve, we would subtract 42 from both sides. And we get the same answer we did before. YWZ is 54 degrees. Okay, so two different ways. One is a little more visual, and the other is writing out each technical step of the problem. Okay, let's take a look at another. Again, notice we have the angle addition postulate happening again. We have two neighbors sharing a fence, and if we took that fence out, we would have a larger angle there. So let's fill in our information. If the measure of angle 1 is 62, so I'll put a 62 degrees right there for angle 1. The measure of angle 2 is 0.6 the measure of angle 1. Well, that's confusing. Okay. What does that mean? 0.6 the measure of. Okay, it says angle 2 is 0.6 the measure of angle 1. That means it's 0.6 times that number. So angle 1 they told us was 62. We can go ahead and find that. We do 0.6 times 62 is 37.2. So we know that angle 2 here is a 37.2 degree angle. The question asks, what is the measure of the sum of angle 1 and angle 2? So if we used our angle addition postulate and wanted to find this big opening, we would add angle 1 plus angle 2. We now know each of their measures. Angle 1 is 62, angle 2 is 37.2. Together, they give us 99.2.